Red Elixir opening on MIA. So Zyra does have one of the best, if not the best, auto attack for support. It's 575 range, which is going to outrange Thresh. I believe Thresh is at 475. It actually outranges Twitch as well because Twitch is a 550. So both Varus and Zyra's attack ranges sync up at more than double lift. So if they 2v2 that lane with the double red elixirs, it's big as they're looking to invade, and I think CLG spots them out.
They're very heavy set on the top side. Usually not seeing teams do this too much anymore, and they are going to be
this could be a
pinched
fight
in here. Aphromoo is trying to draw them in. He still knows they are going to be able to go in. It looks like they lock up. The bindings are back and forth, though. They're not focusing the crowd control. Prowly's able to get out. It looks like they're able to drop Link first and somewhat turn this one around here. Complexity still doing the most damage. Almost going down. Hotshot gets out with a sliver. They are still able to take one. Nick Wu falls. MIA coming up with a kill for himself. There's that auto attack range coming into play for the support, and it's going to be a double kill for Prowly. 2 assists on his first game as well.
Oh my god, that was 5 kills in the first minute and 20 seconds. Like, that was a very huge thing for Complexity as everyone misses his death sentence at the end there. But CLG didn't have to do that.
No.
Like, they had 4 in a brush, and someone isolated off on the other side, whereas Complexity was very much grouped up, and you're fighting a Ziggs, dude. His bombs are spammed on you. Zyra's AoE is much more substantial. Like, yes, you have some good stuff with a light binding, but like the sustained, persistent damage and the AoE potential, if you're just gonna have like a level 1 brawl fest, Complexity is way ahead on that compared to CLG, so that choice is highly questionable from CLG early.
That was awesome play by Complexity coming in. Everybody actually choosing the area of effect, slowing the addition of that ability to stack on and get the most out of their kills in that first skill selection.
Absolutely.
So 4-1 as they start. Looks like either Brunch bought another one. I don't think he actually used his first one. Hotshot GG just got exploded and ignited down.
Yeah, and that's the big thing. Like, Nick Wu started with the red elixir. Because he'd gotten the first blood fight, he got a Doran's Blade to come back. He beat Hotshot to level 2. Hotshot had no flash to begin the game. He also didn't start with the red elixir. Like, that was just waiting to happen, and Hotshot didn't see it coming. Nick Wu beasted him down early, and that's not a... This is a just disaster for CLG early.
This is not something we have seen from Complexity, and CLG is really on their heels right now, as you say. They're trying to focus this. Link now against Prowly in mid, who's so confident. Obviously going to hit level 3 before that too, and continues to batter down on him with water balloons. Yeah, it's painful.
Yeah, and this just skews the matchup so much in the mid lane between Prowly and Link, because it's a Chalice of Harmony start for Prowly. And levels, right? Because they destroyed that level 1 so hard, they got the extra items, they have the extra gold, and he is just going to harass Link terribly. Chouster burned his flash, right? Like, Prowly is fairly safe in these situations, and it's really hard for CLG to deal with this.
So why is it only champions or people like Prowly, like Shifter, that are bringing people or champions like Ziggs out?
It could just be the fact that Prowly does whatever he wants, right? Like, Link did it for a while, but now CLG's gotten him back on the long-range champions. And at the same time, we saw it almost with Wild Turtle a little bit too. Your first week in the LCS, you're kind of just playing with house money, because if you do bad, it's like, well, he hasn't had time for the team.
Oof.
I'm fight dead.
Oh, MIA absolutely expunged there. They could still go in, just a sliver of health on double lift. He's going to be able to back out. It looks like they're going to Hotshot once again. Top, that flash is down. The burst is coming out. One more attack, and the Vorpal goes down, and Nick Wu picks up his 3rd kill of the game at 4 minutes in.
This game is ridiculously paced for CLG. CLG likes slow games where fights don't necessarily happen, so they are very uncomfortable right now. Yes, Double Lift did pick up that kill in the bottom lane, and he was kind of able to do that because he was the 1 kill that CLG picked up before, so he wasn't disadvantaged nearly as much as the rest of CLG. But like, Hotshot just teleported back into top lane. I wonder if they're just going to try to kill him again.
I wouldn't doubt it. Actually, Nick Wu is quite low on mana. There is double buff on Loud Immortus, so they don't want to lose that. No vision on Chouster is going to allow them to play safe here, but still put on that pressure to Hotshot.
And this is not something I actually expected to see with the new Udyr in top lane, right? Like, I expected him to be much more jungle heavy. Just the turtle sustain isn't quite there. Hotshot's wanting to turn into that late game Phoenix threat that just spams out the lane, but he's really going to have to take his time because he's already put 2 points in turtle, and he's not shoving very fast now, plus his items are way behind, just based on everything that's happened to him in the level 1 and in the lane.
Chouster just waiting patiently down bottom. Finally sees MIA. Brunch, you return to lane here as they are getting themselves farm back up. As we take stock of that, looks like each lane is quite even in farm, but Complexity's looking to win on these kills right now. The farm is really nothing for them at this point, and they are going to continuously do this. Chouster still waiting in the bottom. Really one of those to wait on the kills instead of that farm.
And you're looking at the lane, it's not necessarily pushing in either direction. That was a very good ward kill there by Complexity to kill the ward in the last second of their pink. But what Afromu actually wants to do is he'd want to get hit by a Zyra root, but MIA is being very, very cautious. The wave is pushing for Complexity, so they're walking closer and closer to the danger zone. Their flashes are also down for a brief second on Brunchu, but Chowster goes in.
So good. The E from Brunch just pretty much cancels everything. A grasping root grabbing him up, and it just cancels that out.
Yeah, so he unfortunately went for MIA, whose flash was up. Brunchu's flash will be off cooldown just in a second. And that is a lot of time invested for Chowster, or Lauda Mortis, who's just happily farming. Those ganks are going to become more and more difficult once Lauda Mortis hits level 6, because then even if they get the surprise, Lauda Mortis will be able to globally come in from the jungle. That's usually the struggle with Jungle Shen, is getting to that point. But with the 5 assists he picked up, they're going. And here's another gank.
Straight in. They go actually back towards the backside of MIA. Afromu could go down here as Brunchu knows this is going to be an all-out battle. He's going to try to get the damage down before he himself goes down. Double lift, getting all the attacks in. Chowster probably going to let this one go to double lift. Here it goes, Probably. Oh, he gets the ultimate down. Mortis just on the outside. Can he get the taunt in? If it's going to be long enough, the flag toss. No, the flash has to come out. So that's going to be good for them on the jungle pressure.
Mega Inferno Bomb just gets double lift down, but we've seen this story before for CLG. 4 kills on the team, 4 kills onto double lift. This is very quickly turning into another one of those back-breaking moments for double lift, where he's the only one on the team with farm, and now they're diving hot shot.
There's the ultimate coming up, going in a lot of Mortis. Nick Wu taking too much damage. He stays there for another shot. It could be enough if Hotshot can get that stun in, but there's just too many minions. Lauda Mortis and Nick Wu definitely in a scary spot here. They've taken a little too much damage. We've seen this before. Hotshot trying to go in. There's the laser. Oh, he flashes the final spark. Hotshot. Oh, the blade comes in with minion damage. These guys are just scrapping it back and forth. Punches to the face in the 1-2 and probably looks to finish Link, but he just backs out of this fight.
The pace of this game is absolutely out of control. That's 2 kills per minute on the map so far. 14 kills in 7 minutes. The goal beat is very much in favor of Complexity, and they're aggressing like crazy. That could have been a disaster for Complexity, but they came away fairly even. That was still bad for them in the grand scheme of things, but they're keeping Hotshot down, which is the important thing. I mean, we mentioned in the pregame needing to have Lauda Mortis strong enough to deal with Hotshot, and thus far, they're doing that.
It looks like we have the Giant's Belt now coming out for Lauda Mortis. One of his favorite items to continue just diving deeper under those turrets. Chowster, you can see his HP, he looks so squishy still, under 1,000 health for himself, and Lauda Mortis is coming into the fight with 1,400.
It's just items across the board, Riv. There's an 8-minute completion of Athene's Unholy Grail on probably Ziggs in the mid lane. How is Link going to fight against that? He's got a Cage's lucky pick, and
he knows it's a long game. He's already going for the gold generation.
He's got to just stall out. He's getting out farmed. He can't roam nearly at the level of Prawley. The Mega Inferno Bomb is super potent as well. Like, the Ziggs pick is definitely working out in this scenario because he's not worried about getting spiked out. Lauda Mortis is now soloing the Dragon. Probably's walking through a war, but I don't know if CLG feels confident enough to go for this. They might try to snipe it with a Link laser, but it looks like they're just handing off blue. Lauda Mortis might get this for free.
This is something that they used to have Soraka to do in Amumu, but now they're just able to do it with Shen. They controlled this early game so well. 9 minutes in, 9-5, an almost 4,000 gold lead here for Complexity and this revamped roster.
I will say that Complexity this season does have very good early games, right? They usually get the first Dragon. I don't have statistics to back this up quite yet, but we see them get really early Dragon plays early.
True.
Lauda Mortis puts an amazing amount of emphasis on getting that, and he's usually successful. These are the moments, even though they usually don't have leads this big, that they start to crumble. So with the new roster, with Prawley, with the confidence, sometimes just changing a roster member, even if Prawley isn't outperforming Chuper, it makes everyone else play on a different level. They forget about the bad things that they've been doing. They reset their mindset, and they're able to finish games and make more aggressive plays because they no longer have the burden of all the defeats because they see themselves as a new team, even if they're still 4 of the same players.
You see CLG trying to adapt in some of the builds. We've seen it before, and it comes out sometimes when you're ahead, but it's bad when it comes out late and you have to buy that Doran shield. One now coming out from Afromu. Hotshot trying to pick one up, sinking a little bit of money into just staying alive in lane right now.
He's sinking a lot of money into just staying alive in lane. Like, Hotshot component items is getting taken to a new level this game because he is not able to deal with Nick Wu. Like, Nick Wu is going to be an issue in this game because he is in no way getting shut down by Hotshot. And even in the bottom lane, the farm for Brunchu is doing quite well. It's really about keeping double lift down. Like, that's the only other threat right now that Complexity has to think about at this point in the game.
You see Chaucer babysitting still and really trying to soak up the experience. His jungle's almost clear. He wants to be able to go top or bottom if something big happens. He knows that Complexity has that map control right now, and he has to be able to go everywhere. You see him finally starting to teeter towards the top side. His Link has his ultimate to clear, and that's really what they need to leave each other alone, is the ability to just siege that out. You can't even do it now. A lot more is putting the pressure on.
And it's just a matter of Link's blue buff doesn't really have anything on Prawley's bomb spam. The Athene's Unholy Grail is like a blue buff in itself. So they're not shutting down Prawley in the mid lane. No one has really been able to come back from that level 1 disaster so far on CLG. Doublelift a little bit, but everyone else on the map is falling farther and farther behind. And it will be kind of about CLG finding a Complexity mistake like they were able to do even last week. Because we can't forget, the last week, Complexity did have a fairly substantial lead on CLG for most of the game.
We see that tier getting stacked up as Nick Wu is actually grabbing up the blue so he can continuously get that to its full form. Probably is not going to get any damage on the turret, but you can see Nick Wu just really giving Hotshot a hard time in the top lane, and just that damage coming out. Turtle not really helping Hotshot at all, and he's forced out of the lane. Mana's low, so he'll probably be teleporting back in here as Chaucer again forced to wait on the wing for a gank.
And in this gank situation, there will be a lot of Mortis coming in if they decide to do a Lantern Jarvan gank like they did last time. I can see them trying to pull it off, but you can tell Complexity recognizes something. This is actually Prawley bomb range if CLG decides to go in, and Chaucer's already went back to base, so now it turns into a situation of Complexity thinking about diving CLG in their turret.
And look how confident they are. They're looking for somebody in the jungle before they do it. They say we have enough time to roam. Mid Link is visible, top is visible, Nick Wu has Hotshot on his heels. They can really control the entire map, and especially having Shen, and he's just able to walk around right now. He doesn't have to use the Stand United.
They're daring Chaucer to make a play right now. They're just like, we're walking in your jungle, come at us, because we're willing to fight in almost any scenario. Even if they were slightly outmanned, they feel confident in their ability to take these fights. Chaucer just now checked Dragon. That thing dropped several minutes ago, so you can see the map control is way out of proportion right now in the favor of Complexity.
You see keeping a hover on that bottom side, probably playing towards the bottom side of mid as Brunshu just bursting out, double lift down to half health there with the combo. And it looks like probably could drop this turret quite soon, get some pressure on mid, and that next dragon may not be able to be contested here. They have 2 minutes. We'll have to see if CLG can set themselves up for this.
And it's going to be real tough because the team fight damage from Complexity at this point is really huge. The big thing will happen actually, Nick Wu is getting closer and closer to level 11. Once he gets that evolved wings as well, he will be able to stomp around these team fights, which were already going to be a little bit stompy. So this is really bad. The only advantage CLG might have is that Hotshot has a teleport if Nick Wu catches himself top.
And this kind of plays into CLG's old, or now current game style as well, is that super late Lantern gank coming in. They do get the death sentence on him, and they dove for the backside. He actually popped up both, the Cataclysm on both. This is really Chaucer helping right now. Can they finish it off as Mortis comes in? Almost a double save on the team as Afro flashes for the auto.
And Hotshot teleported in at the last second, so Nick Wu is stuck top, and this is kind of a 5v3 that CLG is sort of collapsing on, but they did get only 1 kill. It was an unfortunate scenario where Mortis was actually there to fight, but then had to stop an ult, so he wasn't actually having any combat effectiveness, and CLG pulled off a big play there, but I don't really know how much of an edge this is giving them since they've lost the pressure top.
That pressure loss top, the inventory showing all defensive items. Is Hotshot GG actually going to build completely? He does. He builds the Warden along with Jarvan and still leave it up to Doublelift and Link to do that damage, even though he's on Udyr. He's going to be in the fight.
I think he's going full defense on Udyr, right? Like that was his plan all along. Phoenix has enough base damage to clear waves and have a bit of an impact in team fights that he is happy just stalling and being annoying, as now Complexity pushes through, Doublelift going aggro.
That was a great dodge there. Mortis only has to deal with the slow now. If Doublelift can't get there, a good grasping route. He will not be able to get the flask off, like sponge damage for a bit, and looks like Chaucer will start to make some moves. He's only going towards the mid to start to clear that up and really get himself back into this game. He's still a level under Mortis.
And now with CLG's teleport down as well, Hotshot returns to the top lane. Dragon just spawned, so the play that CLG tried to create didn't give him a tower, didn't give him dragon control. We'll really have to see how that pans out. Both teams have wards on the dragon, and CLG is collapsing down there very fast. If they can rush this dragon down right now, it'll be a great play because they're going to catch Complexity with their pants down going back to base.
It's going to be gold. That's very necessary. The bomb comes in just a little late, and Nick Wu on the side as well. They will be able to close the gap back down to 4,000 at 15 minutes. It means we're going to see that next dragon around 21 minutes, and we'll see how both teams act, as they did have vision on the timer.
And that play was actually almost the worst of both worlds for Complexity, because not only did they not get the Dragon, they also lost a substantial amount of pressure top, even though Hotshot didn't have his teleport down. When Nick Wu tried to contribute to the Dragon steal, he left this window for Hotshot. Hotshot is probably going to try to finish this turret, or he's going to die, because Loudamortis is on the hunt.
They do have the ward there. Hotshot is out of mana. He may have one bear stance left in that form. Oh, he has to flash it out. So there's some danger there for him.
Still a pretty good flash, and that's one of Hotshot's charms as any top laner. He's 1-4. He's been getting destroyed all game, but he still just forced 2 people to come all the way on the other side of the map and respawn to him, and he didn't die. So that type of map pressure might keep CLG in this game if they can continue to apply it.
Well, they have a pretty good force up here. This is for sure going to take this turret down. Loudamortis ultimate coming back up in about 30 seconds, so they can get themselves around the map if necessary. Nick Wu can still stay top, be the burden that he has so far. Now looking over to Link, going against that Athene's, now a finished Haunting Guise, probably turning into a Leandri's there for the bombs AoE. You only have the Blasting Wand right now. Link in his belt, or in his pocket, 700 gold.
Yeah, so
that's
Link
rough.
Not in a good place right now gold-wise. That's 1,600 back. I mean, the team in general, being 6,200 away, is not working, but like we said earlier, the one advantage that CLG has in this game, Doublelift has an Infinity Edge on Brunchu, so even though his gold actually isn't there, he's just been back to buy, and CLG wants to have him fight, or just get some turrets back on the board, because being down 4 turrets to 0 is 3,000 of this 6,000 gold disadvantage. So the top lane for CLG, they've almost pushed that one down. Doublelift and Aphromoo have a window in the bottom lane as well, but if Hotshot can't fight Nick Wu, he can't make that happen.
Hotshot not taking as much damage as he was before, and Nick Wu has gotten that burst from the BF sword there. They're going to miss the taunt. Hotshot gets the burst off, or the bear off rather. They're going to get a little bit of damage down here. It's definitely going to be a coast-to-coast run for Hotshot. There's the final bounce. Can he get the last slowed down? Loudamortis just with enough energy. He is completely out of range. Does he have the jump? Oh, probably coming in for the side. Can probably bounce himself. The last bomb hits. Get the kill.
My God.
Oh, he uses the ultimate. They finalize it. Kill secured.
But look at what they used to kill a 1-4 bear who doesn't really have items. Let's see if CLG can turn something around. Doublelift, Afro, and Chouster are all trying to push bot lane as Link went down to pressure. And think, what did Complexity really get for that? I think they tunnel visioned on Hotshot there.
This is exactly what CLG wanted. Complexity to start focusing one or the other, let CLG start to take down the turrets and get back into this game. They don't want to fight right now, and Complexity's giving them that.
Let's see if Complexity can get their map pressure going, because they've done enough killing Hotshot. They've controlled the map this far. They've already killed 4 turrets, so they've essentially got the map pressure going. It's just a matter of, can they hold it, I guess, when I think about it a little bit better. They do have the goal lead, but I think they should stop worrying about Hotshot so much. Like, send a guy out there to neutralize him and then deal with the rest of CLG. That's the thing that they can't get themselves caught up on, because Complexity has been outplayed by CLG in the mid-game many times this year. They've played 3 times already, and it's not like Complexity hasn't played them close.
Looks like Link coming in here for a bit of damage. Loudamortis misses the taunt. That's quite a bit of energy to boot. And, oh, he's going to get out quite easy. Nothing coming in from Loudy.
Yeah, there was a bit of a misfire there on one of Folly's bouncing bombs. He undershot a little bit, but now they're trying to siege mid lane. Here's the window, right? Hotshot is back top lane. They recognize that their lane is already pushed. They have a 5v4 in mid lane. How much damage can they get on the turret versus how fast can Complexity clear?
Hotshot still in that top lane, 130. He's still about 30 CS behind Nick Wu, stacking up that Bloodthirster now as they start congregating on this mid turret. Varus on the outside. Brunchu actually tanking the turret. I was trying to see there. He took quite a bit of damage, but they are able to get it. I thought CLG was going to come with the initiation there as Hotshot was actually bearing down from that top lane. He still has the teleport, so after they aggress this, after they push, whether it is going to be a minute and a half for Dragon and the teleport top lane for that split push, Complexity has to be careful.
Yeah, so I think that was a win for Complexity, right? They picked up the turret.
For sure.
They didn't get engaged on. They very aggressively were actually hitting that turret because they were taking the damage. And now they have to back up because they need to shove their lane. They're making sure, actually, this is smart. Brunchu was the one going down for that wave, even though multiple people went for it. They don't need Loudamortis to get it because he's actually kind of strong enough to fight Hotshot. They need to make sure that Brunchu is strong enough to fight Doublelift, so they're giving him that big wave.
You know what I really like about Complexity's composition when it comes down to it and the elongated fights, which are really going to happen because you're running from a new deer, you're kiting the Chowster, you're getting away from a Link. Those Bloodthirsters are going to keep you sustained, but Loudamortis is not carrying at this time, and he's going to be forced to run out of that. Nickel was there to help. Loudamortis feeling confident, but that ward on blue here could engage something Complexity doesn't want right now.
Yeah, and this is looking a little aggressive from both sides. Like, they kind of wanted to make plays. Mainly they wanted to get that blue, and that was great. The Lux ult denied the blue to Ziggs, as Complexity actually misses even more ultimates. So I wonder if CLG wants to turn something around, or is that Varusol just a little bit of a bait? And now CLG's content with having the blue on Loudamortis because he had to smite it away from Link.
They still have that crowd control from Zyra, but not in range. Walking through so many wards right now. They have to be careful. They don't have the vision. We hear the call out from the teams. They've death sentenced Prowly, but he gets himself out.
Man.
Misses the bomb completely and throws himself back into the fight. Do they have the damage for Aphromoo? Prowly finally going down there, and it looks like Brunshu's going to be able to come up with double lift. Can they get Link? The Ignite takes off for the final hit, and it's going to be Chowster just flashing out of the spikes. He will make it out alive.
Double lift, where were you? Yes, they got the catch on a Prowly, and they really wanted to capitalize on that 4-0 Ziggs, but double lift flashed ahead of the fight through his team. Complexity was in the right side of the jungle, and once they arrived, there was no protection for double lift, so the primary damage source wasn't available. Hotshot was shopping, and they got wrecked in that team fight. Now Hotshot wants to do something, but this is almost just being wishful thinking.
Man, Bear, Peg, Phoenix, Turtle, Tiger, can he get in here? He is going to try to thwart them. Loudamortis is the one closest to Baron. They're positioning perfectly here. He's the one to take the damage.
And he's actually just stalling for Chowster because this is now a realistic steal opportunity, and Hotshot didn't even die. That was actually quite good.
Oh, Chowster just on the outside. It's way far from that smite, but they have the ward in. I don't know if they was placed. A very smart move to back off here.
Yeah, I mean, Complexity recognized what happened.
Oh, dear.
So it looked a little off. Chowster went in. He did. Oh, no.
Oh, no. Chowster gets caught out. Baron is going to get the assist with this one for Brunch and Loudamortis.
That was a bad call by Chowster. Oh, my God.
They got it. Baron finally. Oh, my gosh. If not the first or second time. Try again. Link didn't get the blue, but they got the Baron.
Ah, they did the bait and switch. Like, Chowster
is using everything.
So, Chowster was down, which gave Complexity the false confidence, and potentially like me, they forgot about the real Baron steal threat. Like, sure, Smite is usually the big Baron steal threat because Chowster would do 790 damage, but Link's combination of all three of his spells, it's 400 from Lucent Singularity, 600 from his Final Spark, and even more from his Light Binding. So it's already like a 1400 damage spike that Link can do that. That is more than a smite. And Complexity felt confident that CLG wasn't going to get it because I think they just forgot about it. Normally we prep those things up pretty well, but that was like, holy crap, they just stole the Baron, and that's great for them.
Hotshot's frozen heart, everything he built finally coming into play as usual. 23 minutes into the game, CLG is taking a look at the wristwatches and saying it's about that time and we can start to pressure more of the map. Clearing out the mid, we can see what the ward game is playing for them. Like Crumb says, ward is vision, and they have their entire side of the map lit up right now.
Vision is power for them, absolutely. So, you know, it seemed like CLG was dead there for a second, but the Baron Steal always gives him a little bit of second life. There was a Baron Steal last week too. I think Crumbs picked one up against TSM, and that kind of swung the game. This one is a little bit more excessive because CLG was down a whole bunch, and they're still down a whole bunch, 5,000, but the split push pressure is continuous from Hotshot. He's very fast with that bear stance as well. And Complexity is a little bit out of sorts, right? This has been their problem all year. Yes, they picked up Frawley, but I wonder if it's going to fix that issue. They got outplayed at that Baron. Link threw in the ultimate and stole it, and now I wonder if Complexity can make a play to punish CLG's Baron buff off of them, or if they're just going to wait it out and let CLG farm up a little bit.
So we take another look at these builds, and the early game definitely shows that it was in favor of Complexity in this inventory. We see a Morellonomicon coming out for MIA, but as that starts to kind of stall out, as it was good when he bought it for, you know, right where he is right now at support, should that become a Shrelia? Should that become a more supportive item?
And Complexity did the same thing last week, too, when they were playing CLG. MIA played Elise, and he stacked Magic Penetration, if you remember. And this was the 11-2-11 game for Link on Lux. No one's building the Aegis. Loudamortis isn't getting it. He's split pushing. So the fact that MIA went for the Morellonomicon is saying, like, we're not considering Link a threat despite what happened in our immediate past. So that could be a bit of a red flag. I know I always harp on the Aegis of Legion. I just think it's a really good item, and it will put added vulnerability to MIA in the team fights. It's the balance between, is MIA's threat worth the added threat that Link isn't being negated. There's a way to say that.
Oh my
like that.
lord, Brunch, you absolutely getting wiped there, down to about 20% health. Nick Wu getting hit. That was just the light binding into Lucent Singularity. 1-2, he's down to 75%. And you can see the poke here. Hotshot's gonna say, my turret, thank you very much. Bears up to it. They're gonna be able to get some more pressure on the map there. Finally closing that turret gap, only in a deficit of 2 now. And that is gonna be a few of those second tier turrets. Both teams really in each other's face at this point. CLG looking to get those wards now on Complexity's side of the map, as we see all of their side.
Yeah, this game got real interesting real quickly there. So CLG's gotten 3 of the 5 turrets back, right, that Complexity's taken. The map is extremely open right now. We were saying earlier the aura advantage is definitely on CLG right now. They haven't completed an Aegis. That's probably what Chester's going for next. But they do have the Lock of the Iron Solari. That's something Latimoris has not completed. And I think Hotshot's like the only person in the world who builds Frozen Heart. But it's working for them quite well because he's becoming slightly less vulnerable to Complexity's physical damage. The only real magic damage dealer is Prawley, with a little bit coming in from MIA. And the reason Udyr would go for a Frozen Heart over Randwin's, since they're both heavily physically countered items, is just the cooldown reduction. More Turtle Stances, more Bears, and more Phoenix. CDR is super underrated on Udyr as a champion. Hotshot's maxed CDR right now, so he is a really fast Phoenix Bear man pick because he's doing those stances real quick.
Bear man pick.
Right? Because of all his cooldown reductions. So when they force team fights, it's not actually as bad as it should have been for CLG, considering how badly they lost the early game and how badly they lost the level 1. It's still Complexity's game to lose, but they're in the process of losing it.
So, bouncing off some more inventories here as Hotshot and Latimoris look to shake hands and kind of do-si-do for a little bit. I don't think either are going to get too much rather than attention from their teammates. You can see Hotshot kind of just clicking out, orbing it, and he decides to walk away as he maybe hears that Ziggs bomb ticking in his ear. But knowing Brunch coming into this game, playing against, actually, they may still go in for this. He's going to stay. This is what Hotshot GG is known for. Usually the Baron's up right now, and he's a 6-stack Cho'Gath, and the whole team is fighting him. He has teleport. He can get to wherever he wants, and this is the game that he loves to play.
Yeah, in the grand scheme of the game, what's happening right now, right? Like, Complexity can't make a move if they're chasing down a 1-in-6 Udyr in the bottom lane. This is the farm time that CLG needs, so Aphromoo can power up and kill the whole team. Or so Doublelift can power up and kill the whole team.
And that's actually what I was going to point to just a second ago. With Brunch going up against Doublelift, you see Doublelift pick Twitch, you know he's going to build an Infinity Edge. It's almost gimping yourself to go Bloodthirster into Last Whisper, no? Well, knowing that damage is going to be there right off the bat with PD?
Especially with Varus, since he has very aggressive AD ratios on like his piercing arrow and stuff. A lot of Varuses do go for the Bloodthirster.
Okay.
It's okay. They'll go for the Infinity Edge later. I think like Wild Turtle and a couple other Varuses do the Infinity Edge first.
All right.
But of the champions, Varus is more in the realm of a Bloodthirster AD carry, right? So it does hurt them at this point in the game, 28 minutes in. But the whole process up until this, where Brunch was actually doing quite well, the Bloodthirst was paying off. So you can't really fault him for that decision.
Fair enough. We'll see what he can do in his positioning in that late game. It looks like the Last Whisper now coming out for Doublelift, as he's going to be able to sit on that backside. Link finally getting to that damage phase where he can soften up those kills for Doublelift on the outside. So CLG is getting to their fight phase.
And they're going to have to fight pretty soon because Complexity successfully, essentially, like successfully I say in a bit of quotations because they had such a big lead, but they waited out CLG's Baron, right? CLG only got farm out of the Baron. They didn't pick up any objectives. So now it's the point where the gold lead that Complexity had accumulated needs to be put to use. They're pinging around the jungle, they're warding up before the dragon because they know that is up, and they're going to try to extend this. It doesn't look like CLG is at all interested in fighting. They're more worried about the Baron control and potential stealing and stuff.
Hotshot back to farming in the bottom lane. 30 minutes just about in this one at 15-7. Like you were saying, you know, 6,000 gold lead is still held by Complexity, even after a Baron steal, even after CLG has found themselves some turrets and global gold here. Getting that Rabadon's now Void Staff actually right after for Link in the Locket of the Iron Solari come out. Like we were saying, the aura is really in favor of CLG. As they push into this last one, Hotshot's going to be a burden in that bottom lane, and they're ready and poised for Baron.
Yeah, and look who they're sending for him. That's the AD carry Brunch U who's going down for Hotshot GG. I think he's pretty much just getting the red buff, actually. He was just doing his thing. And CLG's more worried about the Baron, But as long as Hotshot is this immovable force in the bottom lane, great, because he's not a threat, right? But he is a distraction.
Absolutely, just split pushing down. Let's see if he is just toying around with Loud Mortis right now. Still not any damage between those two. Doublelift coming back out. He did finish the last Whisper. We will see if Link can hit the combination here. MIA sticking with Nick Wu to see if they can explode someone as well. They're really staying in, you know, that combined assassination combination. And Hotshot is doing some dancing.
He's like, pay attention to me, for the love of God. I'm in your base taking hits from your turret. Please collapse. He's really trying to bait the Baron out, but at the same time, this is creating a lot of pressure. Like, he's just trying to be as obnoxious as possible. Like in an ARAM, if you have Udyr, trying to be like, please let him to stop pushing my lane, come back for me. It didn't work, and now Complexity actually trying to make a play.
Everybody going aggressive. We have flashes left and right for a few auto attacks thrown. Nobody wants to go down right now and make that mistake.
This is actually kind of humorous. What's happening with Hotshot? Oh my God, that damage from
he got
Link.
hit by
like,
Baron.
Link has done such a great job coming back in that lane. He had to lane with a Fairy Charm against a Chalice of Harmony. And in the end, even though he didn't pick up the kills and his team lost pressure, he's gotten 50 more minion kills, and now he's sitting at a very similar item threshold to Prawley and actually has 500 more gold.
Absolutely ridiculous. It just shows the perseverance that these guys have, knowing that it's going to be a rough road ahead and knowing that they just need to take it patient and they'll be in the lead when they get the chance. 31 minutes in here, clearing out some wards, playing it very safe. Like we said before, power in numbers for these guys as they roam in the buddy system. CLG doing the same as well. Cheer, Chaucer, and Doublelift clearing up the resources and putting down a little more.
So I don't even know what's going to happen here, right? Like that's a triple pink ward around the Baron area for Complexity. So they have a Oracles plus pink wards, which sometimes is good, especially against like a Twitch. So Doublelift is not going to be able to position around. He's not going to be able to escape with stealth in any scenario because he's going to be walking through pink wards.
So where does the fight engage come from when we start to go in? Can Loud Mortis kind of go on to Chauster? Can he go on to Hotshot if they have the AoE from, you know, Brunch and Prawley to lock him up and still just explode him? Or does he want to get to the backline? Have to.
I mean, Loud Mortis does want to get on Doublelift. Everyone wants to get on Doublelift in team fights, but they have to find a way of dealing with Hotshot. And look at this. He's trying to farm 2 waves at once so that they can push multiple waves. And at the same time, Complexity is hamstrung by this, and Loud Mortis can't push up. CLG might try to fight here, but this is super dangerous because Shen can teleport in.
Manshot, GG, making home, pitching a tent in base here. I think he's got the hot dogs going by the tree there. 15-7. CLG getting pushed back here. His team may need him. Doesn't look like there's not too much chatter going on the screen. You can see Chaucer patiently talking. These guys feel really no pressure right now. They know Hotshot is just giving them so much presence.
I haven't seen this before. I've not seen him farm 2 waves. Like, the interesting thing is Loud Mortis is trying to split push, and here comes the play from Complexity. Loud Mortis actually ulted out of vision, so CLG doesn't entirely know that this is there. The steal is potential, and Hotshot would have to TP in.
Oh my God, the flag is down, so they're going to lose vision from that in a second. It's going to be quite low here. Where's the ultimate from Link to come out? Baron is actually healing quite fast, so they're trying to deter that. Fake out the damage. 3 wards going in. What are they going to focus? Wards or Baron? There's going to be a lot of damage done here. Who's in the middle? They are just holding it up. Chaucer takes so much damage. Lockett saves him. Can they get the Baron? They do not. Loud Mortis smites it off. Chaucer makes it out with a sliver as he limps away. Hotshot still chilling in base.
He's just trying to get it. CLG on the retreat, and Complexity did that one right. They put so much harassment outside that Link couldn't even get close enough to land a combo. It was literally just his ultimate. And oh my dear, now there's the Baron thing, and Hotshot can no longer dirty farm the base.
Here's the engage coming in. Oh, beautiful Varus ultimate to spread to the team. Aphromoot's next. Can he get the Nick Wu reset? No, it goes to Loud Mortis. Hotshot taking quite a bit of damage to the tank, but Nick Wu dives face first. That fight mentality coming into play, and he picks up another one onto Brunch. It looks like they back off at 3-1.
Doublelift died to like a last tick of Ignite. That was a huge play, but Complexity still very low. They are not getting an inhibitor immediately off this. I wonder if CLG can hold with just Chaucer and Hotshot.
Will Chaucer flag toss in here? He's taking quite a bit of poke along with Hotshot. They gotta be saying be careful here. The turret's gonna go down. They decide to go in probably just on the outside. Both of them as they sit in the area of effect damage. Bounced back by the satchel bomb, and they pick up another kill to clear out the inhibitor here, Jat. It's looking grim for CLG.
Complexity finally getting through this one. on. They got a couple seconds left on Aphromoo and Link. They're trying to face tank these turrets. They look like they want to get pretty much the game over here. They're going for the next Nexus turret.
They're playing this super smart. They've seen Aphromoo doesn't have the money for home guards. He can knock it out, dodging out the final spark. No home guards as well on Link. They're trying to get the damage to Lucent Singularity. Takes it out. It's going to be a half-health Nexus. It's MIA and Brunch. He pops him up with the ultimate. Can he still get the damage? Can it be MIA? MIA! They saved the Nexus and there's no minions!
60 health on the Nexus. They killed everyone. They've only lost one inhibitor. All the minions are gone. They actually held that one off. The game should be over.
Oh my gosh.
CLG should have lost this many times already, but they're still alive, Riv.
Oh my gosh. I don't know how. 35 minutes, 21-12, 60,000 to 52, and 8-3 turrets. Nick Wu, he's tired from that fight. He can't even make it over the wall.
He can't even make it over the wall. And the funny thing about all this is Complexity also lost the Baron buffs with that push. So normally with that last Baron, they're just like, dude, we got Baron, let's just go fight him. And they're super competent. They could probably still do that, right, to be fair. We're probably overblowing this, but there is the chance that CLG might come back in this. And if they did, I don't know if I've seen a Nexus lower.
That was absolutely crazy. Chowster gives that over to Link as they use Final Spark to pick it up. Everybody nearing almost 6 items right now. MIA was able to get a few items for himself off of that with the Kindle Gem, finally finishing out his boots here at 36 minutes into the game. It has been a rough one, but CLG has definitely pulled from behind, and we see Double Lift taking into consideration the amount of crowd control that just came into that fight with a quick Bansheesville.
And thank the heavens, Loudamortis has the Runic Bulwark right now.
Yeah,
because they got it. Link cannot one-shot them when they're going out to Siege. This is looking real good for Complexity, so even though they didn't finish the game that last time, they will persevere. They want to. They're going through for this next inhibitor. They have no Baron buff, so if they get caught out in the wrong situation, it could be bad, but their nuking potential and their lead is still quite substantial here.
Got the Bansheesville down on Double Lift, taking a bit of damage there. Chowster wants to go in. They want this instantly. He gets 3 inside the Cataclysm. A beautiful Final Spark. Brunchu falls. The 80 damage is gone. Nick Wu's trying to keep himself in the fight with the ultimate there. MIA on the outside as well, and Complexity is shredded out of this one. They have to run here. Could be probably holding them off. He has the health and the mana. 1 for 1. Very little turret damage, and that was close to a disaster for Complexity, but Prawley is unfazed. He wants to keep hitting this, but now he's got to back up. At least he burned Hotshot's teleport. He's got Home Guard running through the minefield. Right into the minefield. Well placed by Prawley, shutting down Home Guard right away. They need to run here. They can't get the burst, and he smells Loudamortis. Bear stands to lock up Loudamortis. He goes over blue. This could be, I was going to say it's going to be a chase forever, but they give up.
Yeah, we're going to see some Grand Prix action right there, but he decided, no, I'm going to stay away from the Prawley bomb spam and all those minions.
Oh my gosh.
CLG has to defend this base, because little did we forget, they don't have Nexus turrets, and they have an exposed inhibitor.
So hurtful right now. The inhibitor probably coming up quite soon. That battle quite a few minutes ago here, now 38 minutes in. Probably picking up his blue. Those cooldowns already near max. Definitely going to be maxed after this, and we can see the damage he is putting out. He doesn't even have a Void Staff on him, and he's actually looking to pick up a Zonia's because he wants to actually get himself in there, make sure that Mega Inferno Bomb hits, and he's more than happy to stand right under it.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at Prawley right now. He's sitting at about 30 magic penetration, and there's not a huge amount of MR on CLG. Like, they actually haven't. We harked on Complexity so much to be like, you know that super fed AP carry that you didn't buy a Runic Bulwark or an Aegis against? It's like CLG's doing the same thing right now. It's not really at the fault of Chowster, though, because he has been completely starved of farm this entire game. Like, Loudamortis has 4,500 more gold than Chowster right now. So, yes, he doesn't have an Aegis Chowster, but he's been trying. He's going for it. In another 100 gold, he's going to be able to buy one. I don't know if CLG has that much time, though, because Complexity is looking for a fight right now.
And there's 3,000 gold alone in favor of MIA in his support build as well. Haunting Guys looking at Leandries. He is putting out some damage as well. Probably cannot be the one focus here. Loudamortis trying to peel for Prawley. He waits on the taunt, and he actually gives him just enough room. This could be the fight that they want. They force CLG back out of that one. Big plays there by Loudamortis for Prawley.
But look at this. That's almost every ult from Complexity burned. The only one they saved is MIA's and Loudamortis's, so they're going to try to siege down this turret, but Chowster has his initiation. All of CLG's stuff is up. They have to go. know if they want to save this turret and inhibitor.
That's one turret down. They did not bat an eye at that one. Hotshot GG coming from the backside. He wanted the home guard to start. Loudamortis is really the only one that takes the final spark. Probably satcheled out of Cataclysm. Can they continue this damage? It's going to be Chowster going down as they back off Loudamortis as well from double lift. And they're trying to get the few bits of poke damage in here. Hotshot trying to run. Varus is able to shred down that percentage health damage. Nick Wu running the outside. Hotshot just trying to get, or got locked up rather.
And they got to remember, they have no Nexus turret, so if Complexity wants to keep pushing, they could try to rush it down again. It is a 4v4. They traded jungler for jungle and part of the base for base. Probably almost got decapitated by a light, but that's not the right word. Just about died from Link's final spark there, but this is a desperation hold for CLG, and based on those last few fights, it's not looking good. Complexity has been taking this one after all of the stuff that should have already won the game kind of smartly.
We'll see if CLG can do it. We've seen those late game mistakes really be a terror for these inexperienced team, the younger teams, the teams just coming in this season. They start to surmount, they stack up, and Baron was really what allowed them to get that top inhibitor. They were able to do it without it on that bottom, but like you said, CLG was able to draw out all the ultimates. So that fight that CLG is looking for could be prompted here quite soon.
Look how fast this Baron's going down. Hotshot has no teleport. This is all about the steal again for CLG. If they even want to mess with this, I think they're just giving up the Baron because they have a lot more to worry about in their base.
Baron is down now in favor of Complexity once again. I don't even think they're going to worry about Dragon, an objective that doesn't matter anymore this late into the game. 41 minutes, 23-14 here in game 1 of week 8.
CLG's trying to catch them by surprise. This is just like the level 1 all over again. It's a 4v5 and they don't have an advantage in the fight. They're going though.
It looks like MIA just knew they were there. He threw a grasping root right into it. Oh, they get exploded by the Mega Inferno. Double lift is right in the eyes of the entire team, and they did not have the positioning for this one.
Hotshot coming in late, but oh my word, Complexity going.
Oh, Nick Wu looking for all the resets right. Kill looking for more. It's going to be Avramu all the way on the backside. They have the Nexus in their eyes, and Complexity yelling from the background.
They are 0-3 against CLG leading up to this moment. Now 1-3, but 1-0 with their new line.
Absolutely amazing.